Hey y'all already know what it is. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get to it. How I ended up in jail, y'all. How? Y'all just relax, get you some popcorn, get you a snack, get you something to drink, and just chill with me for a minute, because y'all, it is a lot of moving parts to this, and I'm gonna try to finish this all in this video right here if possible. I'm trying to stay as focused as possible. I am just coming off the dome with this. It's been a while now. It's been over a year, and yeah, I'm telling you all this by memory and I don't really know where to start. So, hey, I'm just going to start from the beginning. So, in January of last year, 2023, me and my husband, we were at home, and a big, huge black SUV, all black, blacked out tinted windows. I'm talking about black. You can't even see who was in the car, was parked in front of my house on my curb. In front of my house on my curb, you guys. Blocking the mailbox, just all up on the curb, all up, on my house. So my husband looks out the window and notices, and he's like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "I don't know," y'all may not know, but prior to this, let's see, I want to say a few years before this happened, I actually had my house shot at. My ex, after I had divorced him, this is a whole nother story, but after I had divorced him, the same day I divorced him, 3 hours later, he came and shot in my bedroom window, y'all. And if you know my house, if you look out my bedroom window, you can basically see the entire neighborhood. If you've seen my lives when it was snowing, you can see that my house is the first house on the street, and you can see the entire neighborhood. So anyway, I'm just very aware of what is going on in the neighborhood, especially my husband. My husband does know, about the shooting with my ex-husband. He knows all about that. So he is very protective of me. And when he seen this black SUV, this huge black SUV, he wanted to know, who it was, of course, and he was getting ready to go to work. He was not going to work, y'all, until he found out who car this was, what SUV, who this was in front of the house. So he goes outside and sees who it is. He walks outside. This was in January, y'all, January 2023. He goes outside and walks to the vehicle, and the girl rolls her window down just a little bit, cracks it, and he asks her, what was she doing, on our property, what is she doing, basically. And she did not respond. She just kind of rolled her window back up, I guess. And so he comes in the house, and he told me, that she's not responding to him, and he wants to know what she's doing, and this, that, and the other. My husband, y'all, he's really sweet. He's really sweet. He's really soft spoken. He's well spoken, but he's really kind spoken. He's got that voice where he's just really friendly. So, I tell him, I said, go out there again, because I'm off on this day. And it's January, so it's cold. I'm in the house chilling. I wasn't trying to go out there, right? So I said, go out there again, put a little bit more bass in your voice, and tell her she needs to get off the property, because we have, the lawn man was coming or something, y'all. So he goes out there. he tells her again, you know, that she needs to move. We have our grass man is coming. He's getting ready to cut the grass. He's not cut the grass. I don't even think he was cutting the grass because it was in January. I think he was like trimming the bushes and stuff to basically end off the rest of the season. So she just sits there on her phone, looking down at her phone and not responding, not saying anything to him, just basically ignoring him. So he comes in the house again and he's like, she is a bitch, you know, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, what? And he was like, you know, she's not responding. She's not saying anything to me. She's not. So, you know, I'm just like, oh, fuck. Because my husband, he wasn't going to work until like he found out what was going on or she moved. So it just didn't look right, y'all. It looked very suspicious. It was weird, you know, because if you look at my lives and you see my neighborhood, you can see the houses are pretty good distance apart. Like, so if someone is not there for you and they just want to park on the street, not just up on the curb, that is my property when you're on my curb. But if somebody just needed to park on the street, they could actually park in between houses and they don't have to be up on someone's house. She was parked as if she lived there. She was parked as if she was the mailman trying to reach the mailbox. Okay, so I said, oh hell. So I was like, I know I'm gonna have to go out here now, like, because he done went out here twice, and I know that, you know, the second time he probably was a little bit more stern. So, I'm not walking out there. Bitch, I'm all over the mouth. So I get in my garage. I go to my car. I just back out to her. I basically just reverse my car all the way back out to her, and I roll down my window, and she already has her window cracked. And I say some words to her. I'm really stern, but I do not threaten her in any type of way. I do, however, tell her that my house has been shot at before, and I know for a fact that my husband has came out here twice and asked you to move your vehicle, and you have refused to do that. And if you were anywhere else, you could get shot. Like, and I basically tell her, this is how people get shot. I never once said that I was going to shoot her. Now, mind you, when mind you, y'all, this is not my fault. I'm chilling at my house. So when I have guns, y'all. I have multiple guns. Even though we don't have to have a gun license anymore, I do have my gun license. I've been having my gun license since I was probably about 27. So, which I still have it, even though it's expired, because we don't need one anymore. But I have a gun license. I went to the class. I know how to shoot a gun. You know, I know everything about guns. The ones that I have, anyway. So, I keep a gun in my vehicle, and I keep a gun certain places in my house, right? So when I go into my garage, I always set my gun up on my dash, and my gun was up on my dash. I did not move my gun. It was just sitting on my dash. So, you know, she may have seen the gun, but that has nothing to do with me. First of all, I'm in my vehicle. She's in her vehicle. We both have tinted windows. I didn't even think that she would see the gun. I'm basically just telling her, look, my husband has asked you nicely. A man has came out here and asked you nicely to move your vehicle twice. And you are just ignoring him, and you're on our property. What's wrong with you? Like, what is the problem? So, anyway, after I said what I had to say, she instantly moved. Like, it probably took no more than 6 seconds, and she just moved. And, you know, that's how some women are. Some women, they like to play with men, but then, you know, she probably didn't know it was a woman in the house. So I'm having to go out there and basically be a bitch and tell her that, you know, This is not what you do in this day and age. This is not what you do. The city that I live in, it's a lot of shootings. It's a lot of people that get killed by gun violence. It's a lot going on. Like, it's a lot going on. And so, you know, you just don't do stuff like that. If somebody asks you to move, you just move, you know. It's not that big of a deal. So she moves, you know, and then I go back in the house. And my husband was like, dang, how'd you get her to move so quick, you know? You must not know who your wife is, but, you know, and it's not what I said, it's how I said it. And I'm not going to go back and say exactly how I said it because I really don't remember, but I kind of wanted to give her like a little history lesson as well, because, you know, if you were anywhere else, you probably could have got shot, especially if you was on somebody else's property. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Way back in the woods somewhere.
God damn it, Darlene. You just cannot do that.
But anyway, you could get shot like that. So I go in the house, and my husband, after all that happened, she moved. My husband told me he called the police on her. I had no idea that he called the police. So I'm like, why the hell did you call the police? You know, you knew I was going out there. Because if she didn't move that second time my husband went out there, he knew I was going to go out there and get her to move. So he was like, well, yeah, when she wouldn't move the second time, you know, he was like, I got something for you, and I'm just going to call the police. So I guess that got her attention, and then she called the police too. So they're both out there calling the damn police, and I didn't even know any of this was going on. So by the time, you know, she's moved and everything, and he told me he called the police, we look out the window, the police is across the street talking to her. So he goes out there and he talks to them as well, and I guess they both give their statements, and then they come to my house, and I invite them in, and I told them what I did, you know, and the police officer, you know, there was 2 police officers, and they were just so nonchalant about it. It was just, you know, nothing happened, you know. They felt like, you know, it was dumb, you know, it was just like, okay. So he was like, well, we have y'all's numbers, and we're going to give this to the investigator, and they'll look over it, and if they have any questions, they'll give y'all a call. So, you know, they were just, it was nothing. So we were like, okay. So, you know, time goes on. This is in January. Y'all know my birthday came around in September. And y'all, when I did those birthday nails with the cougar on them, the long cougar nails, and I went back when I was editing the video and I put that happy birthday song on there, y'all, I just started crying. Like, I did not know what the fuck was going on with me. Like, I was just crying. I was like, why in the hell am I crying? Is it because I'm getting older? Like, I'm already in my 40s, so it's just another year up. So it's not like I'm just now hitting 40. So it's just like, why am I crying? Like, this makes no sense at all whatsoever. And so, but I was just crying. I had no idea why I was crying until after it happened. 4 days after my birthday, my house got raided. Yes, it got raided. This was in September. So how many months after that? 8 months? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 8 months. 8.5 months later, my house gets raided. And so this was on a Tuesday. And y'all know I'm off on Wednesday. So I came home. I was chilling. You know, in September, it gets dark early. So it starts to get dark like at 5:30. So it was already dark outside. It was about, I want to say about 7 o'clock p.m. And, I was in my room watching a movie. I was watching a scary movie, y'all, at that. And my husband was in the shower, and I was waiting on him to get out the shower. We was probably finna do our thing. Thank God we wasn't doing our thing when, I got raided. So, I'm in my room. I got all the lights off. I'm watching this scary ass movie, and I'm talking about this movie's getting intense. Like, it's getting intense. And then all of a sudden, the police bust in my bedroom. I didn't even know that they were in the house, y'all. The police bust in my bedroom with flashlights, big, those huge floodlights. Just flash, because right when you walk into my room, like, the bed is right there. So it was like right in my face, and with big ass semi-automatic guns straight to my head. And I instantly put my hands up, and I'm shaking because I don't know what the fuck is going on. And he's hollering, "Get out the bed, get out the bed." And then so I'm getting out the bed, and this police officer, he is shaking. He looks like he's nervous, which is making me even more nervous, because I'm like, dude, you got your finger on the trigger and you're nervous as hell, and which is making me even more nervous because you could pull that trigger at any second. You already got the gun to my head. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at him dead in his soul. Like, I'm looking in his eyes. He's got the flashlight straight at my face. So he sees me. I'm looking dead in his eyes. And he's looking dead at me. And I did not blink, not one time, y'all. I'm looking dead in his eyes with my hands up. And, it's just like the seconds go by. We're just looking at each other. And I'm like a deer in headlights. And then he says, "Get out." He tells me to get out the bed. So I get out the bed. I didn't even have on any pants or panties. I was just chilling in my bed with my husband's t-shirt on, waiting on him to get out the shower. So I get out the bed, and I still have my hands up, and I'm like, my husband's in the shower, my husband's in the shower. Because I don't want him to think that it's anything crazy, anything going on. Like, I have the bathroom is in my bedroom. So I'm like, my husband's in the shower. I don't want, him to think that somebody's in the bathroom gonna come out and shoot him, because for some reason they were really, both of them, I don't know how, I think it was 2, but it felt like it was like 4. But they were really, nervous, and you would have thought that I had killed someone, and that I had been on the run for 25 years, and I've been hiding out in my own house, and now they have finally captured me. I've been on the wanted poster for over a decade, and there's been a cash reward for me, but nobody has just not been able to find me at all. I've been living in the same house for over 20 years, but they could just not find me. So they finally found me, and they were so nervous. So I'm like, my husband is in the shower. My husband's in the shower. And my husband's like, "Babe, what's going on?" He hears the commotion. He hears it's the police, because, they after they busted in my room. Okay? Not before, but after they busted in my room, that's when they said who they were. So it scared the shit out of me. I didn't even get a prior warning, So my husband comes out of the shower with a towel on, and they're like, "Get her some pants, get her some pants." So, my husband, he starts talking. He's a really good talker. Like I said, when he starts talking to you, he's got this really friendly voice. He used to be on the news. He used to be a newscaster, you guys. So, he's asked the police officers, he's like, "What's going on? what is this about? You know, we haven't done anything. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't done anything, you know, and I'm like, I haven't done anything, you know, and this seemed like that went on for so long, y'all. And then finally, I was like, what is this about? You know, and he was like, you have a warrant out for your arrest for aggravated assault. And I don't even really know what aggravated assault consists of. But the first thing that popped into my mind was I beat somebody's ass. So I'm just like, I haven't touched anybody, you know. I don't, you know, the only thing I do is go to work and come back home. You know, I'm like, y'all got the wrong person. Y'all really have the wrong person, because I have not done this. You know, this is not me. And my husband's like, she hasn't touched anybody. You know, she doesn't do anything, and this, that, and the other. So anyway, my husband gives me some pants, and I said, I knew I was going to jail, so I was like, can I put some socks on? Because, you know, I didn't have anything on, and I'm just like, I don't want it to be cold. Like, I don't know why I was thinking that. I've never been in jail before, but for some reason in my mind, I feel like jail might be cold. So I was like, I really want to get me some socks on. So put me some socks on. He was like, okay. So he puts me in handcuffs and then takes me to the vehicle and puts me in the back of the cop car. Now, mind you, my sons were at home at the time, and my youngest son, just know I was praying that he did not come to the cop car, because there were several cop cars out there, and I seen him out there like a pit bull sniffing around, just walking up to the cop cars trying to figure out which one I was in. And I'm just like, Lord, please don't let him come over here. Please don't let him come over here. Like, I don't need my son going to jail too. Like, just let him, because he got my mouth, you know. Yeah, he's definitely my son. So, you know, he's looking, he walks back. So I'm like, okay, thank God. Like, God answered my prayers, you know. So anyway, I'm in the back seat, and the cop is doing something, and I'm talking to him, and, you know, I'm starting to get him a little worried, to where he keeps calling up to the precinct, and he's asking them, are you sure that this is the right house that we are supposed to be at? And so he called, and she's saying, I can hear her talking, and she's saying, we don't see anything for, you know, that address. There's no warrant out for that person. And I'm just like, and, you know, in my mind, I'm like, yep, y'all got the wrong person. Y'all got the wrong person. I'm telling you, it's not me. So, but I did say to him, I'm like, I'm telling you, you have the wrong person. I have not ever been in any trouble before. I've never been to jail. I work for the post office. Like, I cannot, you know, you have to have a clean record to even work for the post office. Like, so I'm telling him, I'm like, this is not me. So he calls up there like 3 times. And then finally, after that 3rd time, they send something to his laptop, and he shows me my driver's license, and he's like, is this you? And I said, yes. And he was like, yep, we got the right person. So he's ready to take me off to jail. And I said, well, can you tell me what the police report says? So he reads me the police report. Guess what this bitch said, y'all? This bitch lied on me. So I basically went to jail over hearsay. The investigator never investigated a damn thing. We never got a phone call. So she basically told the police officer that I walked out to her car, pointed my gun at her head, and said, if you don't get off my property right now, I'm going to kill you. Y'all, come on now. Come on now. If y'all watch my videos, y'all know I got more sense than that. Like, okay, I might be silly and I might joke around, but I have more sense than that. And then she also tells the police officer that she's our neighbor. Lie number 2. Never seen this lady before. ever. I know, you know, my neighborhood. It's not a huge neighborhood. I know my neighborhood. Never seen this lady before. Lie number 2, she's not our neighbor. I did not even walk out to her, let alone would I point my gun at her and tell her that I am going to shoot and kill her if she does not get off my property. So, I didn't know that she had said all of this. When they came in January, if the police officers that came in January thought that I had actually pointed my gun at this lady and said that I am going to kill you, don't y'all think they would have took me to jail in January? They did not even ask me for my gun. They didn't even say anything about my gun. They didn't say anything at all. They didn't even tell me what she had said. I had no idea that she had even said these things, because if I had known what she said, I would have made sure that they knew that she was lying then. So, I basically got lied on, y'all. I basically got lied on, and the police officers did not do their job. I got lied on. Nobody ever investigated anything. When they came in September, 4 days after my birthday, and raided my house and arrested me and took me to jail, they also took my gun, which they were not supposed to do. And I'm so pissed off about that, y'all, because you're coming in my house. Okay, it's one thing that you have a warrant for my arrest, but you do not have a search warrant, and I did not know if they could search my house or not if they had a warrant. But after I did talk to my lawyer did say that they were not supposed to search my house. They were not supposed to take my gun out of my car. They were in my garage. They were in my bedroom. They were searching my house looking for my gun, and they took it. And they were not supposed to do that. The only thing that they were supposed to do, since they didn't investigate the situation, because none of it should have happened. That shouldn't have not happened, y'all. Since they did not investigate it, the only thing that the police officers, with them doing their job, the only thing that they were supposed to do was come in and arrest me, and that was it. So I'm telling the police officer, you know, that's not what happened. When he read me the police report, I'm like, that's not what happened. You know, she lied. So he was like, okay, well, you're going to have to get you a lawyer. You know, I could tell at that point, after we had talked, he knew that, you know, I didn't do anything. But at that point, he's already arrested me, you know, and he was talking to the other cop, you know, and he kind of didn't even want to arrest me anymore, but it was too late, because he said to the other cop, you know, he said something to the other cop, and the cop was like, well, you've already arrested her now, you're going to have to take her downtown. So, you know, I guess they didn't want to be bothered with the paperwork. I don't know. But, you know, he had already arrested me. You know, coming in my house, you could tell my house is a normal house. It's a clean house. It's a nice house. Like, nothing was out of the ordinary. And, you know, he could tell that maybe this was a mistake, which it was a mistake. It was a huge mistake. So, anyway, guys, this video is almost over, and I thought that I was going to be able to tell y'all everything in this one video, but no, I still have a lot more to tell y'all. So, yeah, so that's basically how I ended up going to jail. I still need to tell y'all what happened when I went to jail, and what happened most importantly, what happened when I got out of jail. because y'all know. Woo! Y'all know when I got out of jail, I was pissed. It was on and popping. I stayed calm the whole time, y'all. The whole time. They had busted up in my house, had guns on me, put my hands behind my back, arrested me, put me in the car, took me to jail, booked me, put me back there, everything. The whole time I was calm the whole time, y'all, because I knew this shit was wrong. I knew they had fucked up severely, and I was just in there, y'all. When they took my picture, I wanted to smile. Like, I really wanted to smile. But I didn't want to look like one of those crazy people that be smiling on their jail pictures, you know, on their mug shots or whatever. So, you know, but I had this look on my face like, yeah, wait until I get out of here. Just wait. And you better believe when I got out, I got the best lawyer, criminal justice lawyer in my city. All right, you guys. See you in the next one.